Does your mom know you're watching this show? Welcome everyone to the Friday Night BS show. We are back for another fun show, and we have some fun topics tonight. Weird news is a little bit different. Like I said, 10 time-honored sayings woke culture wants to erase from history. There was actually 30, like I said, but I picked the 10 that I think a majority of us still use, and some that, like I said, we probably haven't used since like our teenage years and probably further back. There were some in there that Bruce probably remembered as a teenager, and like that was way back. So I didn't want to go into those. Sorry, Bruce. But yeah, so I picked 10 that I think all three of us actually still use today. It's part of our vocabulary. I think it's going to be something that's going to be very difficult for the three of us or whoever's on this show that use it to kind of take those words out of our vocabulary. It's going to be tough. Topic number one, how do you know when you're in love? 15 signs you are. I have the link to this article, and we're going to kind of dig into that and talk about our own experiences, what we went through when we were in love. And like I said to Jennifer, it's funny because I had someone else say this to me, and it's something that I've kind of, because when this topic came up, it was kind of like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But you can, like he said, you could be in love with someone deeply and madly in love with somebody, but you don't want to marry them. And it never kind of hit me, that saying, but makes a lot of sense. You could be completely madly in love with somebody, but just you don't want to marry them. Deana's got an interesting topic, and I Jennifer brought up a good point yesterday. Is this both parties, Jen? Deana? Is this about men and women?
It is about men and women. It is very much about the double standard between men and women.
Oh, Bruce, you're going to like this topic. It's bringing sexy Mac. Let's talk about oral sex. I was hoping this wasn't just the guys not doing their job, but we'll go and Dino will go into that one. And then the last one, which generation has it harder when it comes to dating? Boomers, Gen X, Millennials, and Gen Zs. So, and we'll give our thoughts and on those. But let's say hello to Deana. Deana, how are you doing, Deana? Deana, how are you doing,
Still
Deana?
Here? Another day that
was there. Deana's still. I think Deana's still looking for her vape pen. Or are you still looking for your vape pen?
I found it.
Okay. And Bruce is with us. He's back tonight, and this is going to be interesting to see how many of these words, because I think they were kind of focusing on your generation of words, Bruce, with this one. Not so much of what me and a couple of them are probably our generation, Gen X and millennials, but a majority of them were kind of focusing on words that were used by boomers. And I'm kind of curious to see how many of them that are kind of still in your vocabulary, Bruce. So it'll be interesting to see. You guys ready? We ready
back
to get
in the
into
hieroglyphic days, when we wrote on the walls?
What is that? Say that again, Bruce.
Am I lagging?
No, you're good.
Am I lagging?
No, you're perfect. Everything sounds good. Everybody's perfect.
Are you? Yeah, because I see it, because it looks like lagging on my end because I see the spiral there once in a while on the voice. And I checked my speed up in the 500s, so I don't know what's.
Yeah, we should be good. It's probably just it trying to catch up. Who knows? We'll get it figured out. It should come. It should be fine. I hear you perfectly.
They got the saying back to the hieroglyphic days on the cave walls.
Yeah. All right, let's jump right into it. Where is my thing? There it is. 10 time-honored saying woke culture wants to erase from history. And let me scroll down on my list to get to these. And we'll do the first one. You no longer can say, you ready, guys? That's crazy. You can't say that's crazy. It's
Why?
a bid. I'm going to tell you why. It's a bid to shift conversation around mental health. It seems like all these are going to be focusing on some sort of mental health thing, which is just I kind of understand it. I kind of don't get it. It's important not to label people or actions of being crazy or insane. More sensitive language is needed to reduce the stigma around people's experiencing of mental health difficulties. So, I'm
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
cray cray now. Thanks, Alfio.
I'm just ready to say that's crazy. That's crazy, man.
It's
That's
seriously, can we just not be snowflakes about everybody and everything? I'm neurodivergent. I get it.
yeah. I
Just
mean,
let it go, dude. Everything is not about you.
yeah. That's what it seems like. Everyone just kind of is taking things too personal. Like
It's a
uh,
personal attack. It's not.
yeah. I mean, Bruce, how often have you said that's crazy?
It's still in my vocabulary.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to find that most of this stuff is, like I said, it does come down to, mental illness problems. You ready for number two? We're going to go through these real quick because it's just like our weird news. You don't want to spend too much time in it. You're going to love this one. Colorblind. Can't use the phrase colorblind anymore. This phrase implies that men should not show emotional or weakness which can harm men's mental health. I'm colorblind. I don't get that one bit. Do you guys get that one?
I can't
No,
eye
because
roll hard
it
enough
has,
for that one.
colorblind has something to do with, yeah. I mean, what are they actually going to call it then if it's not colorblind when you can't see colors?
I mean, I have never used that word to describe a race. Like I'm not, I don't say like I'm not. I'm colorblind. Like I don't see color. You know what I mean? I get where they're trying to go with this, but like Bruce said, how do you say to someone that is truly colorblind? You can't say.
But are you seriously going to take that as a detriment to you? Or are you taking that as a
I mean, we literally have it tested in the apprenticeship to be an electrician to make sure you are not colorblind.
Oh, that's a big fucking deal for
Yeah, because
electrician.
if you can't see the right colors, man, that's going to kill somebody.
Or yourself, fuck.
Yeah.
Send the colorblind guy in there to fix that short in that wire. Which one is it? The red wire.
Yeah.
Okay, number
is it green or blue? Green or blue? I don't know, man. They both look blue.
I can't tell what color. That poor bastard that's colorblind. That's the bomb expert that goes in there trying to
cut the red wire.
By the way,
yeah, it's crazy. Number three. I have not said this in a long time because yes, I understand how it can be very offensive. But you're such an Indian giver, which is a classic episode of Seinfeld. Yeah, classic.
Yeah, it is.
The term is offensive to Native Americans and is based on a false stereotype that Native Americans are dishonest. So I get that. I mean, I can't even think of the last time I've said that. Teenagers, maybe early 80s.
That was a kid.
Yeah,
saying,
that was a schoolyard thing.
Yeah, schoolyard, elementary school.
Yeah. I mean,
somebody swiped your lunch or did a bad trade, or
yeah, exactly. Maybe my lunch money for give it back.
Yeah, with that word, I'm kind of curious because I wrote some little notes here for that word because that phrase, I should say. But Deana, when you heard that for the first time, would you say that came from your friends or your parents?
Oh no, it came from other little kids. That's an old schoolyard thing. Yeah, from little kids, like 3rd, 4th grade.
Yeah. How about you, Bruce? Was that something you heard at school, or did you you heard grown up? Well, I should say I wouldn't say your parents, but I say like a grown up. Did you hear a grown up say it for the first time, or did you hear it for the first time in school?
Oh, I'd say the schoolyard, definitely. Yeah.
Schoolyard, same for me because I was trying.
Yeah.
Well, even if my parents would have said it, it would have been in Italian, and I wouldn't have fucking understand it anyway. But yeah, yeah, that word, yeah, because I mean, I remember using that, and again, maybe fourth grade, fifth grade, max. I don't think I said it after that. I mean, it just didn't make really much sense to me. Okay, you can't say he's an addict. You can't say he's an addict anymore. We should avoid saying someone is an addict. Yeah, it says we should avoid saying someone is an addict and refer to them as a person with an addiction to show more empathy about their condition. All right, how do you feel about that one, Deana?
I feel like that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and I lost brain cells listening to it.
Yeah. How about you, Bruce?
I'm wondering who these vocabulary police are.
Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think what the hospital would say. Yeah. Like, does the hospital say you're an addict, or does they say you're having an addiction? So because like
you're
I'll say
challenged.
We just made the word longer, but it's still an addict.
Still, yeah, still an addict. So we can no longer say that anymore, guys. Are you ready for number 5? Because you're gonna laugh. And I still use this.
Number 4, dear Lord.
That was number 4. Number 5, I still use all the time. A matter of fact, I use it all the time when I'm in the car. And there's a reason for it. Check your blind spot. Someone has argued that this phrase is offensive because it uses the word blind to describe people with visual impairment. Hey, Bruce, check your blind spot, Bruce. Nothing. Deana, your thoughts on blind spot?
Dear morons, this is a reference to driving. If you can't see someone in your blind spot, which is a part of your car you can't see with your rear view, or truck if you're driving a larger vehicle, yes, that is what that refers to. No one's talking about your lack of vision. Get over yourself.
Hey, Bruce, how about you, man? I mean, I use that all the time.
Yeah, I mean that's just a true fact, you know. Yeah. What are you going to call it? Your visually impaired space?
Well, that's what I was thinking, because most of these had alternatives to what to say, but they have nothing for this one because obviously they couldn't come up with anything to replace check your blind spot.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh wait, let me check my visually impaired spot.
Yeah, you're visually impaired. I like that. Let me check I can hear the car saying that too. Please check your visually impaired spot. I know this word probably doesn't come up a lot with a lot of people having rear cameras and stuff like that, and all these sensors and stuff in their car nowadays, in the mirrors and stuff. But I say it all the time when someone's getting ready to back up. I was like, hey, make sure you check your blinds. I said it to my daughter the other day when she was backing up.
Well, it even says on the mirrors, the rearview mirror and the camera and the side view mirror, right? Don't rely on this, you know. Look,
everything blinks.
Yeah, I mean, just because I got a flashing light and everything else, you're still not supposed to rely on that stuff. You're supposed to turn your head, look, you know.
That is correct. I didn't think about that. You're right, Bruce. They do tell you not to trust those devices, to still, kind of turn your head and look, make sure there's nothing there.
Do, but I mean, I started driving before all this technology came out to be, so back in my day we had the crank windows still,
Yeah, you had stone wheels. I mean, shit. It was fucking rough. You had Flintstone.
Well,
you guys,
I mean, we didn't have a floorboard because that's how your feet made the wheels go.
Number 6. You ready? Don't laugh. This is one of them. Open sesame. Some people have argued that we should stop using that phrase "open sesame" because it offends the people of Middle Eastern descent. The phrase is often used as a derogatory way to refer to people from the Middle East, and it can be seen as a way of a negative stereotyping these types of people. I had no fucking clue that those two things even applied to each other. Open sesame.
I mean, I've
Sesame
always
is a
seen it
seed.
in the.
It's also a street full of puppets. Do we really need to get this sensitive? I don't have words.
I mean, I personally don't say that. I haven't said open sesame in fucking I don't know how long, but I mean, but you know,
it's a Bugs Bunny episode. Hassan Chop from 19.
I mean, that's something they say joking when you're, just funning around and you come up to something, you can't get it open, and finally it opens up. You go, "Open sesame," right?
Exactly. That's the only time I've heard that is a magician saying it on a fucking on a show. Open sesame.
I mean, it has to do with magic. I mean, that's what the saying was back then. So.
Abracadabra.
Yeah. Well, abracadabra, open sesame. I was all
open sesame. Yeah. I don't know. These are okay, and this one is for all the women that I love that are out there. She's just a dumb blonde. You can't say that. Another phrase that plays in stereotypes against women is a dumb blonde. So it should never be used. People are encouraged not to judge women or anyone for the way they look. They can't take away all the blonde jokes, Bruce. They just cannot take away all the blonde jokes.
My wife was a blonde, and when she screwed something up, she'd laugh and say, "I'm having a blonde moment."
My ex-wife used to say I'm having a blonde moment all the time.
I mean, they joke about it themselves. It's like, come on. I mean, I these people that take all this crap serious, they really need to go put themselves in a little quiet room and just lock the door.
Yeah.
Take a timeout, really.
A permanent
all right, Deana.
Deana, lock yourself in.
I know you said you don't have a lot of female friends, but I want to ask you, is this something you hear other females say as a brunette?
No, because like I said, I don't have a lot of female friends, and I am a brunette.
Yeah. I always wondered if women... I always wondered if that was haven't you, Bruce? Do you ever wonder if that's like something other women say about other women? Oh, she's just a dumb blonde. You ever think about that?
With many women that change their hair color, it's hard to know who's a real blonde and who isn't nowadays. But
yeah, well, blondes have more fun. That's what they say.
That's the other thing they said. So was that on the top list of 30? You can't say that anymore. If you can't say
that one was not. Imagine, unbelievably, that was not on the list. That was not one on the list.
Kind of being racist. Then I would call that a racist comment. They should, ban the blonde jokes.
Oh God, that would suck. Those are some great fucking blonde jokes out there.
Oh, I have some great ones.
Yeah. I added this one because in all my life, I have never heard anyone ever say this. She should be burned on a stake. What's is this the fucking early 1600s? Who the fuck says she should be burned on a stake?
That would be a Karen maybe saying that, but
ironic.
Say it.
Because usually Karens are the witches.
Yeah, saying someone should be burned at the stake has painful historical condensation. Yeah, of course it does. I mean, there have been a lot of women that were fucking burned at the stake for being witches. As many women suffered at the witch trials unnecessary. Yeah, I can't. Honest to God, I thought so hard on this one, and I'm like, I haven't heard anybody say that unless it was in a movie. In a movie, yes. I've heard it in a movie, but in everyday conversation, I don't think I've ever heard anyone say she should be burned at the stake. You guys?
Nope.
No. Have you heard that? It's because you were being a cunt and you deserve it. I said it. I said it. You were being a cunt.
Maybe that's something to say in Boston.
I was thinking same thing. Maybe one of the original 13 colonies. Maybe that's still said in those there: Philadelphia, Massachusetts, Boston, Delaware, New Jersey.
Well, that
And
gives us
those
a
are
hint
Hack
of
the
where
cat,
this
hop.
that gives us a hint
burnouts
of where
with
this list comes from.
yeah. You can know number 9. Oh, this one hurts because this was like a big word for me. I remember using this word a lot. That's so lame. You can't say that's so lame. The word lame is seen as a stigma people with disabilities plays into harmful stereotypes of those who are definitely they're not unable. They're saying that you're making fun of people that again
That's bullshit.
that are
That is
and
bullshit.
in wheelchair. That's so lame. I use that one a
It's,
lot. I go, that's lame. That's I
it's,
say that one.
it's lame. That's like
I
saying,
think
well, goddamn.
I think I said that 6 times today. That's so lame. I mean, Bruce, when's the last time you've used that one?
Yeah,
That's
but it has to do with meaning stupid, not necessarily a physical handicap.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I said that I've said that's stupid, but I think saying that's so lame is a lot nicer than saying that's stupid
Just
to
refer to a
someone.
bad idea.
Yeah, it's a bad
Right.
fucking number 10. Oh, this one. Okay, this is the one that got me because this one is like, okay, really, he's suffering with diabetes. Instead of saying that people are suffering from something, we should use the term living with, as it is giving people agency, the equality, rather than being someone we should pity. So you can't say he's suffering. Woke wants that gone. Suffering. The word suffering.
Can we just get woke on and then we just kind of resolve all this?
This is what makes it so. I mean, there was 30 of these, and I picked these 10 because I was just like, okay, some of these, like I said, some of these are words that I use a lot every day. I say people are suffering all the time. That person is suffering from whatever ailment, cancer or whatever. So you're telling me I can't say he's suffering? I should use a different word.
Well, believe me,
First,
that person who is suffering is not thinking I'm living with. He's thinking he's
yeah,
suffering.
yeah, yeah. It's not like I'm living with. It's more
Yeah,
sounds like somebody you could
yeah.
divorce. You
That's
can't
like
divorce
you're thinking
suffering.
like you're enjoying it. That person is not enjoying it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Lord. That sounds like
It's
somebody that isn't suffering from from something is trying to capitalize on something that's none of their business.
yeah. I mean, these are funny and silly. I'm not making fun of the Gen. This is pretty much kind of a Gen Z thing that's going on, and I get that. Look, Gen X made fun of boomers. Boomers made fun of their parents. Millennials make fun of Gen Z. Everybody's trying to have their own little thing and make their own changes and leave some sort of footprint in society as they move forward. And I get that. I mean, we went, Bruce, and I think Deana, as well. We kind of went through the PC thing in the 90s a little bit. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I mean,
No,
go
where
ahead.
we had to transition from whatever to African American and then to whatever when you couldn't say, like when we had to stop saying Indian style and switch to crisscross applesauce.
Yeah. 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 There
Or
was, I mean,
or
there was some now,
gay is
yeah,
not gay anymore. It's
yeah. And I'm
or
going to,
queer or anything like that.
yeah.
But
And I remember the 90s PC. Yeah, that was some legitimate words that really kind of needed to kind of go away. And I kind of understood some of them because they were really bad words, and I don't want to say them because that would start all kinds of shit. But there was a term for Mexicans that a lot of people used uh, and that needed to be kind of changed. Bruce knows when living out here in California, that word is kind of still used a lot out
oh,
here.
there was words for
But
Italians. There was words for
there's
Hispanics.
yeah. I mean,
Right.
I could say the one for the
Every
Italian.
nationality had a word.
Yeah, it had a
Oh,
word.
sure.
Yeah.
And in the 90s,
even the Anglos had a word. So
yeah. Yeah, and I think we got through it in the 90s, and I think it took a little bit of time, but we all kind of some of us settled in and changed. But the difference now, which is very scary, is these are big changes that some generations aren't going to be able to adapt to, because you're talking for someone Bruce and my age, some of these are words we grew up with. And like for Bruce right now, like if Bruce were to say, if Bruce today went to Bed Bath and Beyond and applied for a part-time job there, right? No matter how hard Bruce tried to be a nice guy, there is going to be a moment in I don't know if it would happen in the first hour he's there or a week into it, but there's going to be a word that Bruce grew up saying that he may have said that would get him fired today. That's the scary thing. That's a scary thing, because and there are people that are losing their jobs, their livelihood, because they can't adapt, and it's a difficult thing for some people. You grew up with those words. You grew up, now are they derogatory words, against someone's race? That's different. But if these words, suffering, I'll go through the list: suffering, lame, dumb blonde. Yeah, that's a touchy one. You could get a laugh with that one, and you could probably upset a few people. But that one, open sesame. Who the fuck knew that? I didn't even know open sesame even meant anything about Middle Eastern people. I have no fucking idea.
Had not even crossed my mind.
Yeah, check your blind spot. I mean, fuck. If I told someone check their blind spot, like, when they got out of the parking lot at Rayleigh's, hey, make sure you check your blind spot. You're fired. You get out of here. Give me a fucking break. That's what's scary. That's what's scary to me. I don't think we had people losing their jobs in the 90s because of saying the wrong thing like today. Am I right? You think there was more of a likelihood of losing a job today saying the wrong thing than saying
Absolutely.
the 90s?
It's just all of that cancel culture that's just spreading its evil, toxic face all over the everything right now.
Cancel culture, cancel
Everybody
history.
Has to be yeah.
They would just want to cancel everything.
Everybody wants to cancel everything because it doesn't fit their perfect little bubble of what is
fairy tale world. Fairy tale world.
Reality. You need to get over yourself. You need to get over yourself. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
Deal with it. Deal with it.
Deal with it. And one of the words, I didn't bring it up because I actually brought it up on the little talk thing that we did with Jennifer yesterday, is the word man up. That is no longer to be used. And I'm
That's ridiculous. That makes no sense to me.
I'm like, I use that all the time. I said that to my son the other day. Man up. Be a man. Man up. I'm not calling you a wussy.
Yeah. Put on your big boy pants. What are you supposed to say? Buckle up, buttercup. I'll say that instead. That's fine. But
I've said
seriously,
man up, put on your big boy pants, all that.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a step up situation. Don't be a
right. I mean, I'm not good. Like I told Jennifer, I'm not going to say that. Yeah. I'm not going to say that to another woman, but I can't see not saying it to another guy. And I've always used, everyone, that word may be a little different to everyone, but man up to me always was I always felt when I said that, I felt that person wasn't giving 100%. It wasn't that I thought you were weak or not, or a baby or a girl. I always use that word you're not giving 100%. Man up. Get with it.
Disappointed motivational phrase. Look, I'm disappointed in you, and I need you to not disappoint me. Man up. Step.
Man up.
Look, put
man
on
up.
Big boy.
Get it together, dude.
Get her done.
Get her done.
Get her done. So I'm in construction. So with construction on the construction sites, you hear all this all day long. I mean, it's just part of the conversation and talk,
Well, I was going to bring that up because before we switch over to the other topic, because we're in an era and time in society where you're more likely to have more women at the construction site, more women in the office, more women in the warehouses that were occupied mostly most of the time by men. So it makes it even more difficult if you're not only are you making sure you don't say the wrong thing, which you shouldn't be anyway, but now you got to be careful of certain words.
Well, I mean, I
Right,
had to play.
exactly. It turns into a situation where you're stepping on eggshells, and it's just gone. It's gone too far.
Deana, you got to stop playing with your mic. You're killing my ears.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I
I'm
mean,
trying to move stuff around.
There
it's
you
tough
go.
because I mean, I was in the field where I'm dealing with the guys, which is a different language, and then I would
Yeah.
have the transition to the office because I would have meetings and all that stuff, which is more women in in that office in the meetings because they're engineers and architects and assistants and stuff like that. So I would have to translate to two different languages sometimes on a job site.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we'll switch over, but like for me, I was, in the trucking industry, in the fuel industry, which was pretty much heavily occupied by men. But the problem was once you got from out of your truck and into the office, that was all women in there. And there was some guys that had a really hard time transitioning from the chatter that we had in our trucks and out on the road and in the warehouse, and then stepping into the office and not understanding, hey, you need to change your tone. This is still the trucking company, but we're in an area filled with women. You had to be more careful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've worked in distribution for many years, and
Yeah.
yes.
And it's tough because all right, I know you now long enough to know that you probably kid a little bit with the guys. You know what I mean? So now the guy,
Right.
he's like, okay, I can. It's difficult for a guy to
Right.
kind of judge. Yeah, you know what I'm going. Like, how far
I
can I take
absolutely understand. Like,
this?
if I'm working the window at the distribution center, you can get away with a lot more
Yeah.
with me than you can with some of the other ladies that work
Yeah,
at that
yeah,
window.
it's tough. It's tough. What I've noticed now is it's like all industries. It's all industries. I mean, I'm not going to name names, but I know quite a few people that that are in their late 40s, early 50s that are losing jobs because they just can't adapt. They have said the wrong thing, or they've done the wrong thing. They acted as different, way that they weren't supposed to. But it was fine for 20 years, and now all of a sudden with this new batch coming in to work at these places and being reported, they're gone. So I got some friends that have lost jobs that they've been in that industry for 20 years, and they've had to walk away from these places, because someone didn't like what they said. And it's just like, it's hard for someone in their 50s to all of a sudden change everything about themselves to adapt to one person. It's difficult. I don't know what
It's
else.
understandable. Absolutely. I've been written up in a situation like I was trying to train someone that was taking over, that I'm a distributor. You have to take care of men that are truckers that have been on the road all day and don't know how to always filter themselves. And I speak that language. I'd been doing it for a long time, and I had to train somebody else that was older than me how to do that. And I got in trouble because I have a foul mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. It's tough. Bruce, you're just so lucky you're out of it. You're just away from that whole thing because, yeah, I mean, in that environment that you're talking about, I've been on construction sites, so I know the chatter that goes back and forth. And just to throw one person in that mix that doesn't want to hear that's
Yep.
tough, because you're talking, a 50-man crew, and 49 of them are talking that way. And you have that one person that doesn't appreciate it. And that it's difficult.
Oh, well,
How you gonna?
we first started getting female apprentices on the job, because I mean, you've always got that outhouse artist,
Yeah.
and you know, I would have to explain to these guys, actually, go to the general contractor and go, hey, I've got a female apprentice coming out. So you guys are going to have to, all the trades, you're going to have to watch your P's and Q's because I don't know anything about her.
Yeah.
I don't know if she can, like a duck and offer back, or if she's going to be just super sensitive that she sued to get in the apprenticeship and she's just looking at possibly getting a lawsuit by somebody on the job site who's opened his mouth the wrong way or looked at her the wrong way or made a comment or wrote something, and that was the challenges when we started getting females into the trade. Was a lot of them sued to get into the trade, into the apprenticeship program, and they were just looking at continuing their lawsuit frenzy by getting on the job suit
and then having somebody fucking up. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, we had some ladies that were legit, wanted to learn the trade, somebody in the family was, and we had other ones that were just strictly coming in to sue.
Yeah. That's bad. We're going to go ahead and jump into the next topic real quick. And let me get it here. This one should be, this is interesting because I think we're three different people. We have to, but something I want to read this off because, Jen, being Jennifer, said something yesterday, and I was like, no, I don't think that's right, because I was talking about love and what love meant, and the process of falling in love with someone, and how you were raised. Like, it was, you wanted to go to school, you wanted to graduate high school, get into college, fall in love with somebody, get a job, buy a house, have kids, blah blah blah. And she threw out this marriage is down, and I looked it up, and she is absolutely, completely, totally wrong on this, because marriage is fucking up a lot higher than it was in 2020. So the number of marriages reached a hold on here, blow it up, John, blow it up. It says the total number of marriages reached a decade low in the 2020s. Where only about 1.7 million people got married, and a high in 2022 of 2.4 million. 2.4 million people in the U.S. got married in 2022. What were they thinking, Bruce? No, I'm kidding. The Murphy Project that figures that in 2023 it'll be around 2.2 million. So the American
locked up together with COVID that they had. That's what they figured on doing or something.
No, I keep hearing this, and it's not just Jennifer. I've heard other people bring this up, that marriage is dead. Nobody's getting married. That may be your inner circle of people, but when you say no one's getting married, you need to look outside your box, because it's not just the people you see every day. Obviously, there's a lot of fucking people that are still following that thing that weird talk, get married and have kids and buy the house. So that to say that marriage is down because that's the environment that you're around, you're not taking the whole picture into consideration. It says the American wedding industry, it did decline. So it declined a little bit, 0.6 in 2023. They were expecting 2.24 million weddings in the U.S. throughout 2023, an increase of over 62%. So an increase of over 62% since 2020. Now, what happened in 2020 that may have made people not want to get married?
A pandemic.
A pandemic. Yeah.
A pandemic.
All right. Just out of the blue, raise your hand if you knew somebody that was getting married in 2020 but canceled the wedding because they knew that they weren't going to have a reception. Duh.
In fact, I have to go to one of those weddings the end of this month.
Exactly. This is, and that's what makes me laugh, is this is the biggest fucking day. We talked about this last week. This is the biggest day for a woman in her life. This is the most important. A guy just kind of goes with the flow. We talked about that, but this is like the most important day in most women's lives. Now, you tell a woman you're just going to have to go to City Hall and get married when they had this elaborate 300 people wedding planned. Yeah, you know what she's going to say? Deana, what is she going to say? Well, can wait another year.
Yep. We'll wait it out. It's fine. And then you wait.
I've had them actually like my niece, they actually got married. Small ceremony, just immediate little family, but they're having the big wedding now that COVID's over.
Yeah.
So they're technically married already, but they're actually going to have the large wedding the end of the month, a year after they actually got legally married.
Yeah.
So they just postponed the big wedding until
Yeah.
COVID was over, and they just
Yeah.
did the. So they didn't wait to get married. They just waited to do the big wedding.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Deana?
Dodge that bullet.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that did the same thing what you're talking about, Bruce, because I had two families. What they did is they got married in City Hall because they wanted to get married, and then postponed the actual ceremony for later. Some of them ended up as destinational weddings, which nobody went to. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, I could have just went to your wedding and ate for free for a gift, but now you want me to spend $1,500 per person to fly somewhere to see your wedding? No, I'm good.
Plus great airfare, plus hotels, plus blah blah blah.
Yeah, the destination weddings make.
Right.
I mean, I get them, but it's just
$40 for avocado
it's a lot.
toast.
I've seen quite a few when I've been down in Mexico. I mean, I've never been there for a wedding, but I've seen many down in Mexico.
Yeah.
So
All right, Bruce, I'm gonna go with you first because you're the wise man of the group. The one thing. How do I phrase this, man? I should make Deana come up with this question. No, but what was it about her that you knew? I'm assuming you knew right away because you got married quick, right? It was, but I
it was about 6 months. Yeah,
yeah. But what
I
was
don't
it?
know. It's just a feeling you get when you just that immediate chemistry. You look. I mean, she kind of blew me off. It was funny because she knew it too. So she blew me off. It was at a party, and I was with my sister and a bunch of her friends and some buddies and stuff. And she was actually there with another buddy of mine, and he was pursuing her. And I first time I saw her, and apparently she knew of me, but at the time I had been dating another gal
You were a
that she
partier.
knew, and she hated her, but she knew that I was single at that point, so she knew of me, but I had never seen her before. The group's just, so I saw her at a
Yeah.
party, and so I went over to be introduced, and my buddy refused to introduce me because
Oh yeah, I've been down that road.
yeah. So I still wiggled my way, introduced myself, and she kind of gave me the cold shoulder. And then I went back over with my sister's friends. They love playing with me, so they're all flirting with me and all over my lap and crap at this party. And so I see her leave, and I thought, all right. So she had to go downstairs and out the door. So I thought, well, you know what? She go down the stairs. I said, she goes down the stairs and she goes out the door.
Hold on, though. Hold on. But there's something that happened for you to do that. That's what I'm saying. You're already sitting with a bunch of girls. You're having a good fucking time.
Yep.
But what was it that made you say, I got to get up and walk downstairs and
I
do
just
this?
don't know. Something just inside me. The little voice said, "You need to
move.
You need to see who she is and what her name is." And so, like, since she left, I said she'd be if she comes back through the door and looks back up, she's interested. So I'm standing at the top of the stairwell. She went down the stairs, walked out the door, and then stood back and looked up at me. And I
hold
and
on,
then
Bruce.
it was like,
hold on.
So
Hold
when
on,
she
Bruce.
left,
Hold on, Bruce. Deana, she had him, huh? She hooked him.
well, it gets better because she was with her girlfriend, right? And she told her friend as she walked out the door, she goes, "That's the guy I'm going to marry." She goes, "You just met him." She goes, "I don't know how to tell you
Wow.
what it is." She goes, that is the guy I'm going to marry." And
I got a tear. I got a tear right now.
First night we met. So
that's crazy. See,
yeah.
and it's funny because that question I asked you. That's the thing. That's what I want to know because I've been down. We've all been in love, but no one could answer that. What was it? What was it that made you get up? Because you're already you're looking. You already got girls all around you.
Yep.
You're having a good time at a party, but no matter what you're doing, you're already focused.
Saw her across the room, and something said, I need to know who she is.
It's nuts. I want to know what
Yeah.
that is so I can patent it and sell it.
What I think I'm sure you ran into it too, Johnny.
It happened to me. I'm the
Yep.
same thing. It was a party at my house. I was already with someone else, but she was out of town. I hate telling this story, but and we were kind of like somewhat kind of broken up at the time, and I saw her for the first time. My ex-wife now, but she was in this little pink dress and she was standing outside. And the same, it's so funny because my best friend was like, "Oh shit." And I looked at him and I was like, "Oh, fuck no, you're not beating me to her." And I'm already thinking in my head. And I was the same way. And I don't know what it was. I really don't, because I said the same thing your wife said about you.
Yep.
I already had in my head I was marrying this person. I was like, "Holy shit, I'm marrying this chick." And I looked at my buddy Troy and I told him, "You ain't got a shot. This is mine." And he's like, "No." And he went to go talk to her. And for a second, I thought I didn't have a shot because he had money, he had cars, he had all that stuff. Come from a rich family, so he never had a fucking job. He had a Porsche, and he had his life pretty much all. And she blew him completely off to come talk to me. But I like you said, I don't know what it was. I really don't know what that was. But I saw her for the first time from the door to the sidewalk, walking to my party at my house. And I was like, she looked like Farrah Fawcett. I was like, holy fucking shit. Big blonde hair. I was just like 80s. You know what I'm talking about, Deana? Big 80s, poofy blonde hair. All she needed was the
Big
bathing
curly.
suit. Yeah. And I would have been,
the wind blowing.
I was hooked. I was hooked. I was literally like, I'm marrying this person. I wasn't thinking about the other person that I was with. That was all gone. I was just like, I was just completely drawn to her. And there was, in that house, I don't know, shit, we had up to 400 people in this house on parties, and there was women all over the place. And I was good the whole time. It was just that day she was invited to the party from Tina. I was a good boy up until that moment, and I just she was living with one of my very, very best friends growing up in this on this block was a girl, Allison, and she was my good friend. She was like a buddy, and she was living with her, and she invited her to a party, and I was lost. So let's hear it for you, Deana. What was it for you? Can you kind of even? It doesn't have to be getting married, but like that guy you knew.
Lord. The guy I'm with now, I've known since I was 18, and I didn't realize I loved him until 10 years ago.
Oh, wow.
It took me breaking up with him for me to realize, because I fucked it up.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is somebody
That's
you
a fun
knew.
Story.
Yeah, you knew 10 years ago, but you never went anywhere.
I met him 20 years ago. I met him through my now ex-wife, the person that's living with me right now, was apprenticing for tattooing under him. And we met. I was married. He was married. He got divorced. I was still married. He was dating somebody else. I got divorced. Just like it just never lined up. And then just it clicked, and it just clicked.
It's like I said, I swear to God,
stuck with me forever.
Yeah, I swear to God, I'm not joking. If I could find whatever this thing is and harnessed it and put it in some sort of perfume bottle and sell it, I would. Because it's just a weird thing, and just hearing
it's called Spanish fly, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
A love potion. I mean,
love
just
potion
like
number 9. You've heard the song.
yeah, love potion number 9. It's just a weird thing, and it's just you don't know it at that moment, and it's something you don't realize until like 5-10 years down the road. It's just like, what the fuck happened? I turned into this whole different person. It's just weird. Signs you are in love. Now we'll talk about the signs. We shared a little bit of our personal things, with myself. But yeah, and too, I mean, all right, let me ask you guys this question before we go. Have you ever, and I'm so glad Jennifer's not here because she would say that's lust, that's not love. But all right, have you ever just looked at someone and just said, I'm in love with that person? I know what you're going to say, that, that you're lusting over some, but have you ever just looked at somebody and just like, and you know
I've
what I mean?
looked at someone and been like, I would do them. I wouldn't say I'd be like, I'd do that.
I would totally,
but not Solaris.
I would totally do that guy. Bruce, have you ever I guess the phrase that I want to say is love at first sight, right? Love at first sight. Have you ever had that experience? Well, actually, you had. You did. Both of us. You and
just once.
I've had a couple times, twice, maybe 3 times, where I've just seen someone and I was just like, "Wow, that I need to be with that person." But yeah, all right. Signs you are in love. These are signs that you are in love. You can be yourself, which is a good one, because this makes sense, because I felt like when I was with her, I could be me. I didn't have to be this other person that I was trying to be when I was around my friends or other women and stuff. I could kind of relax and just be me. Right? Is that how you feel now currently with the guy that you're with, Deana? Do you feel like you can be yourself?
Absolutely. If you can't be you, then what are you doing? You can't live that I'm trying to impress somebody for very long. It wears off. It gets old.
It wears off. Did you feel that, Bruce, with her, with your ex-wife? Did you felt like you can relax and be yourself? You didn't have to be this macho electrician. It's a different era.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, after a while, you got used to the person, and but I mean, I still try to keep myself in shape, keep cleaned up, not be the grungy,
Yeah, but I mean, you felt comfortable in just being Bruce. You didn't have to be this other person. Yeah, that's I mean,
it was. I mean, even the bathroom stuff gets interesting when you first start living with somebody. It's like, man, it's like, what am I doing when I come out of the bathroom and the odor's there, and she's thinking the same thing. It's like, God, I'm living with somebody now. How embarrassing is this going to be?
that was still even in 20 years of marriage, that was still the most awkward and most weirdest feeling. The bathroom was just like, I don't know if it's just because the way our dads were, because like that was like their sanctuary. You know what I mean? It was like, if I'm in the bathroom, you don't come knock on the door. You don't come looking for me. You don't bother me. And it was just like, I've never felt comfortable. She's like, go to the bathroom. Even when we bought our first house, her requirement was that the toilet had its own little room. So the first house we bought had the shower, and then Bruce knows what I'm talking about. They had a little private closet where the toilet was.
Yeah, it's like a half bath.
Inside the shower area. It was a master bedroom, but you couldn't see the toilet from the shower. So you were actually opening a door, going into the toilet and closing it, and that person could still use the shower and not see you sitting and shitting. You know what I mean? That was like a huge requirement from both of us. We're like, we know this is going to happen. We're both going to have to, eventually somebody's going to have to take a shower and a shit at the same time. And so let's make sure that we're, not together when this happens, and we're not making eye contact. You don't want to make eye contact with someone taking a shit, right?
Just use a different bathroom.
Well, I mean, when we first got married, we only had a 1-bedroom because it was just me and her, and the kid wasn't coming yet. So we just learned to time it.
Time it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fino,
Like,
there
oh
is.
no,
But
she's in the shower. I better wait. Yeah.
yeah, a
Right.
lot
It
a
is
lot
a
of the
lot.
new homes, yeah. A lot of the new homes have their they still have their huge master bathrooms, which are nice. I love the huge master bathroom, but yeah, now they've kind of taken that where they used to put the toilet smack dab in the middle. It would be shower, toilet, sink, which never made any sense to me at all that, it would be set up like that, but so you couldn't really
Well,
do
I have an older house, so it's that way.
right,
It's
right.
sink,
Same with me
toilet,
now.
shower. I mean,
Yeah,
there's no
yeah.
privacy in the bathroom for two
You're
people in
not
there.
hiding in there.
You're not
Yeah, you're
hiding
not.
nothing. No.
But see, that's the thing. Back in the days, you had shower, toilet, sink. So even if you were in there just to wash your fucking hands, you still had to see the person sitting there taking a shit. So it's just like,
Right next to the sink.
yeah, it's right next to the sink. So yeah, that was one of our major requirements. So the bathroom was a big deal to both of us. And I understood, the importance of you guys having your space in the bathroom. So, and of course the master bedroom closet where I got the shelf about that big and then she got the rest of the walk-in closet. So I had like this little corner in the far back of the closet. It was like maybe 2 feet of clothing, and then my shoes were just kind of like thrown in a corner. And then she had all these nice boxes for all her heels and everything, which was perfect. You're willing to put in the effort. You're willing to put in the effort. You feel that you've changed that way now that you're in a relationship, Deana, that you're putting in the effort?
Absolutely. I put in the
Yeah.
effort. I feel like
What do you think
I
is
want to be a
different?
better person.
Yeah. What do you think as far as putting in the effort has changed from now that you're dating someone? Like, what do you feel you've changed effort wise? I mean, trying to be on time, showering, brushing your teeth,
Yes, hygiene. I care if I wear
shave your
a pink
armpits,
outfit.
shave your legs.
Yep. Put on a little makeup, maybe not smell like you worked all day.
I'm kind of curious for you, but I'm like I want to hear Bruce's thing because I went through a little bit of a transition difference. Like now, when I was with her, I changed the way I not so much, but my hygiene, just trying to be on time. Shaving a little bit more than I used to. It just
early. Like I've noticed when I'm trying to meet up with him somewhere, I'm leaving my house right now. I'm on my way. I'm already here.
yeah.
I'll beat him. I'm not an on time person, but I beat him places all the time.
Yeah. It says dating doesn't always involve happy moments, and negativity is sure to arise eventually. When you start wanting to peacefully resolve conflicts or co-create a happy dynamic is a sign of love. You get that? I kind of understand what they're saying. Like, I mean, I don't know. This one, it kind of makes me feel like you're either party is trying to be someone they're not. Like, am I right? Does that make kind of sense? Like, you're changing who you are to put in the effort. When number two is when number one is be yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
You be yourself, but the best version of yourself. Try to be the best version of yourself all the time. And I think the thing comes down to you have to find someone that makes you want to do that effortlessly.
Yeah. True. You're disinterested in other people. Yeah, that happens quick. You lose your friends like fucking instantly. Am I right, Bruce? How many friends did you stop hanging out with? Like, hey, where's Bruce doing? I haven't seen him in a month.
All of them. It was like I got banned from the friendships because I got married. They just disappeared.
Yeah. I literally had to tell my best friend to please stop coming to the house at 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, dude, I'm married now. You can't do that anymore. He just couldn't understand it. It was like, dude, you can't come 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, knock on my door and want to hang out.
Me now. Yay.
Yeah, I mean, we used to just tuck and go when we were single. We just show up at the door and go, hey, let's go let's go up camping for the weekend, and we'd load up somebody's car and we were gone, but
How about you, Deana? Did you
Say
feel
what?
like that? Did you feel like you were disinterested in other people when you were in love?
Yeah, absolutely. And I get what you were saying too about friendships. Like that's on the other side of the fence been very much a thing for me is you adopt your significant other's friends and then you lose friends when you move on to the next relationship, which becomes unfortunate.
Yeah, well, you guys. The thing with women, it's a little different, especially if that woman has like a lot of male friends. You know what I'm saying? Does that you feel like that dynamic changes
It
unless the
does.
person you
It does.
yeah, especially if the guy that you're seeing isn't comfortable with that. You know what I mean? Like is like, oh, why do you you have all these male friends and you're kind of still hanging out with them and I can see how it could be because that's like the norm now. I mean, I'll be honest. I probably have more female friends than I do male friends. I have a handful of friends that yes, Bruce, you are one of them. But I have a handful of friends that that are yeah, that are my I know I want to hang out with and do things with. But then that's that group. But then I have a lot of female friends you know that I want to do and hang out with, and I can't bring those two together. It's weird. Let's go. Let's go. Your feelings get stronger. Oh, well, that should be normal. You're in love, your feelings are deeper and stronger. You are wandering around for a while, and your emotions haven't wavered or decreased. It's a good sign that you are in love.
Oh, Twitter paid it.
Love boat. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, everything changes from that moment that you find that person and you fall in love with that person. Everything from that moment changes. Everything about your life changes. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Baby's on the way, morning sickness.
And for some people, and I'm not just saying this isn't just guys, because I know women that have gone through this. It's like when that finally happens that you fall in love with someone, and it's hard to make that change where it's like you need to call that person and say, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Where you were able to do, like you were saying, these spontaneous things, like all of a sudden one day you're waking up, it's like, hey, let's go to Yosemite. Okay. And you just hop in the car and a bunch of you guys just take off. You can't do that no more. And if you did do that, you're an asshole. She's like, where'd you do Saturday? Oh, a bunch of us got in the car and went to Yosemite. Well, why didn't you call me? Don't you love me? Okay. I didn't want to say that this whole segment. Don't you love me?
Don't you love me anymore?
You're grateful for them. Yes, that's true. Yeah, I did feel that I felt very lucky to have that person in my life at that moment. Deana?
Well, if for every relationship you are in, you're grateful for that person at that moment.
I like how we're all going to use at that moment, except for Bruce.
At that moment. And when that moment passes, so does the gratitude.
Yeah.
You really think, huh?
I would ask Bruce, were you thinking with the big brain or the little brain?
Yeah, right now it's the big brain is keeping the little brain in check.
That's what he's like. No, not now. We gotta wait a week. We gotta make this work. I love when guys try to set those. Oh, we want this to work. I gotta wait a week. You think you're thinking of introducing them to their family. That is the big one, man. That is the big one. I think that is the official real first one.
This is serious now.
Yeah. It's like
that's the big thing.
And I want to get your guys' response to it because I think we've all had a little bit of a different experience in this field. But when you did decide that it was time for your parents to meet this person, did you feel anxiety? Were you comfortable? Did you feel like everything is going to be okay, Deana?
Anxiety like a motherfucker. Every motherfucking time, every time. Do you want to meet this person? Are you sure you want to meet this person? Are you going to be okay with this person?
Now, who did you fear the most? Who did you fear the most? Your mom or dad that wasn't going to like them?
Oh, my dad by a long shot.
It's always the dad with the girls.
Always.
It's always the dad.
I mean, my mom is a scary person, but my dad, nope.
So when you decided, okay, it's time for you to meet my parents, you had a lot of anxiety. What were you like worried about? That he was, because this is what I kind of want to understand a little bit, because everyone's a little bit different. Did you feel like he wasn't going to be, because you're daddy's girl? I know this because I'm going through this, and Bruce went through this with his daughter. I'm sure you're daddy's little girl. No man out there is going to be good enough for daddy's little girl. This guy has got to be he's got to climb Mount Everest. He's got to cure cancer. He's got to fucking be a surgeon and save 10 lives a day, So
my dad would find a way to make fun of whoever I brought home.
Yeah.
Some stupid nickname. Oh, is that Flister you're talking to?
Yeah. How about you, Bruce? I mean, were you more nervous to meet her parents, or were you more nervous for her to meet your parents?
I personally didn't really care what my parents were going to think. I know my mom would be the worst, because it's like, why are you going to get married? Type person. Because she's been married 5 times, so it's like,
that's right.
Her outlook on marriage is not very favorable. So, and my dad loved her, but of course they were divorced, so separate families. And then her family was just her mother and random stepfathers in her life. Her mom loved me. Her sister.
How could she not?
Loved me, yeah.
How could she not, right, Deana? How could she not? It's Bruce.
I mean, I had a career, I had a job, I had a car, I had my own place. I mean, it wasn't like I was just some bum guy walking in the door, So
yeah. I mean, that makes sense.
I had my, at 20 years old, I had my life pretty much going in a direction,
Yeah, you had your no matter whether you got married or not at that moment, your life was pretty much on track. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, for me, it was funny because I wasn't so much worried about meeting her parents, because, well, I take that back. I kind of was, because they were Jehovah's Witnesses and I'm this good Catholic boy. So there's some, plus I'm Italian.
Some serious religion.
Yeah. And I wasn't so much like worried, I was more worried about her meeting my mom, because like I'm Johnny, I'm mama's boy. I was like that was, she loved my brothers. Yes, don't get me wrong, but she had to really. I had a lot of issues growing up with seizures and stuff. So until I was 12, I had febrile seizures until I was 12 years old. So she was constantly like looking after me to make sure, he can't play sports, he can't do this, all this stuff. I was babied for a long time. So like no one, for me, it was like I was her daughter. Nobody's going to be good enough for Johnny. I don't care who it is. No one's going to be good enough. I might as well have been a priest. I should have just been a priest, And for me, I was scared.
You were an older boy, weren't you?
Yeah, I was worried because, and I'll say this. I don't know. She is a friend on Facebook, but my mom loved my girlfriend that I was with a lot. And when I left her for the wife, she was very upset because she assumed that was the girlfriend that I was with. She assumed that was going to be the next, Miss Troncali. So, and for her to meet Katrina, it was like shocker. And then to find out her religious beliefs, and she didn't celebrate Christmas, she didn't celebrate birthdays, she didn't all this stuff. So I was fucking freaked out. I was like, oh, this is not going to be good. But my dad fell in love with her as soon as he saw her. He was just like, oh my God, she's perfect. She's perfect. So I felt like, okay, I got dads. I'm never going to get moms, but I felt good enough that I got dads. Dad was like, okay, yeah, she's a good girl, So yeah, it was weird. And then when I met her parents, her dad was cool with me. He liked me, and I was a good guy, so he wasn't worried about it. But her mom told her, he's Sicilian, so he's going to cheat on you. He'll love you forever, but he'll cheat on you. And I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, talk about stereotyping Italian guys. The Italian guy, he'll love you forever. You'll have children with him, so you'll always be the mother of his children. He will love you forever, but he will cheat on you. I'm like, dude, tell your mom to stop watching The Godfather and Goodfellas, because that's not all Italian guys. You enjoy more than their physical appearance. I don't know about that. No, come on. I mean, the first time you meet someone, you don't go, God, I'm in love with your brain.
First thing caught my eye was her brain.
You fucking liar.
Sexy brain.
Hold on. I need a bullshit fucking button somewhere. I need a bullshit.
It might be my next pickup line in the bar. I just had to meet you because I'm in love with your brain.
I don't have a bullshit button, but I have this one. Because I call bullshit. I'm working on the bullshit one though. I had it saved somewhere. I don't know where it is. I recorded that little kid saying bullshit. I gotta add it to the list. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, that was pretty much number one thing that attracted me to my ex-wife. I saw her from the sidewalk, and I was kind of very, very, very blown away. I mean, I was just like, oh my God, it's Farrah Fawcett in Modesto. I gotta marry this chick.
The wind was blowing through her 80s hair.
Yes. And then I cut my face on her Aqua Net fucking hairspray. I had to go to the hospital. Funny story. When we started dating, this is hilarious because this is why I kind of like, okay, my ex was tough. She was a very feminine person, but she could kick your ass if she needed to. She was tough. She could handle pain, all that stuff. So we're kind of okay. We're sitting on my bed, 80s. I had a water bed, right? So we're sitting on my bed. We both smoked. Okay.
So water bed, that's dangerous.
Yeah. So we're sitting on the water. We're laying down on the water bed, kind of, clothes on, and we're smoking a cigarette, and the ashtrays on the bed itself. And then I had this isolating fan that was kind of blowing in the room, right? I go to flick my cigarette in the ashtray, and what ends up happening, I did it right at the moment the fan was coming towards her. No. And the ash went in her eye, and we had to go to the hospital because she got the ash in her eyeball, right? So here,
what's better than setting up her hair on fire?
Burnt your cornea.
So here we are.
All that Aquanet is flammable.
It's really flammable stuff, John. Yeah.
Well, just the ash went in her eyeball. So, but what happened is she blinked. And when she did that, she pushed the ash inside her eyelid, inside the eyelid. We couldn't get it out.
Oh.
So the ash was in. So here we hadn't really officially even gone out on our first date yet. We're just kind of hanging out,
Wow, boy, that's an impression.
Yeah. So we get there, and yeah, and the doctor's like, "What the fuck?" He goes, "This is the first time I've ever had a cigarette ash in somebody's eye," And he's like looking at her, and she's real tiny, petite, and he's like, "Do you need anesthesia?" He was worried that it was going to be, which I didn't know at the time, is absolutely painful as fuck, having that stupid little thing inside her, and it was scratching her eyeball. So it needed to get out like right away. So here, no anesthesia, no nothing, no drugs. Just pulls her eyelid up and fucking sticks this swab thing, and he keeps missing it. Right, so he's moving it around, and all I see is she's not screaming, she's not mad. But I can see the red knuckles on the chair, like she's holding his chair like red knuckles, not saying nothing, and he just keeps, almost got it. And I'm like thinking to myself, motherfucker, you better get this now. Cause I'm looking at her hand and I'm like, he's about 3 seconds from getting punched in the fucking face, by her. And I think the last thing is a doctor needs to do is get punched in the face by a 5'5", 120-pound fucking blonde, So if I go, oh, nice, I got it, and he took it out, and I was just like, I looked at him and I go, boy, you don't know how close you were to getting your ass kicked. We are. Let me see the last one here. Take another. Oh wait, we are almost at the end. We are at the end, almost. Let me see here. Let's see. You're proud of them. Yeah, I think so. I think that's it. Proud and love are those two. Did you feel proud, Deana, that you're with that person right now?
Absolutely. I'm proud to be with that person.
Yeah. You, Brucey, were you proud?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I encouraged her whatever endeavor she wanted to take on,
Yeah. You have fun with them no matter what you're doing. Yes, that's a big one. That's a big one.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
even if you're sitting around on your butts not doing anything, if that's not
within reason, there's within reason. I hated shopping.
Yeah. You got married in the early 80s, right, Bruce?
Yep.
So you were in that era, because I noticed this from my parents in the 80s. You were in that era where there was classes for everything. And it seemed like couples became like, there was a dance class at MJC, a crafts class, and it seemed like guys were being forced to do these things in the 80s that they didn't want to do. Forget shopping altogether.
Yeah, ballroom dancing lesson.
Yeah.
The only way I got out of that was that she wasn't a good ballroom dancer, and I was.
Yeah, the 80s.
Yeah.
The 80s.
I could throw the instructor around like crazy with all the dances. By the time I danced with the wife, she wouldn't take my lead, and it was a battle to see who was leading. I go, I lead. You're supposed to follow.
Why don't women understand that when it comes to dancing? Why do you guys want to take control, even at the dance floor, when we're supposed to be leading? That was the thing with my ex-wife. She never understood that I'm supposed to lead. I am the lead, not you. I don't get it. Maybe I'm going to get in trouble for saying that. Kids, I loved your mom. That's all you need to hear.
Oh yeah.
It's easy to plan for the future with them. That's true. I felt very comfortable talking with her, future plans, kids, house, all that stuff. It seemed very easy for you to. I mean, maybe not the kid talk for you, Deana, but do you feel like it's a lot easier now?
Motherfucking no. Both my babies were accidents. Never again.
Well, no, I know you're not going to have kids, but do you feel like it's easy to talk about future plans with this person you're with today now? That you
sure, because I live by myself and he doesn't live with me.
Yeah.
We need to get Bruce we'll go to a concert in 3 months. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was at first in the beginning, and I don't know if Bruce felt the same way, but at first it was like she was doing that in the beginning, and it took me, I'll be honest, it took me a little bit of time to get used to that. Like she had things planned without me knowing, and it's just like, well, I have doing here, for instance, like we started dating, and then but we had plans of going to an AC/DC concert in Oakland, and we're dating, but like she's like, I don't know, she almost like knew that the date. She's like, well, we got plans on this date. And I'm like, no, I got tickets. And it was, did you run into that too, Bruce? Like in the beginning, like she was making plans without you knowledge, and then you just kind of, you kind of just complied.
I don't know. I think the biggest thing with her is that she felt like, oh wow, I'm in a relationship where the guy has a good job and we can afford to do stuff, and I can get a new car. I've never had a new car, and so I think she was adjusting to that fact. Was like, my life is different. I'm not living on my mother's couch because I don't have my own place to live. And so I think that was the biggest transition that she had. Not so much as planning crap. It was just, I guess, just the freedom of not having to dependent on where the hell is she going to sleep the next night, because she's really, on that type scenario.
Yeah. Well, I hope we help some people. Everybody's different. That's the thing, It's funny that you and I kind of have a similar story, and we both had a buddy that was trying to be that guy before us. It's hilarious that you have that. I tell you, I just kind of looked at him that night. I was like, no, not this one, buddy.
He was not going to introduce me to her.
He didn't introduce you.
I said, hey, John, you're going to introduce me to this beautiful gal here? And he goes, no. And with her sitting there, he goes, no. And I just kind of ignored him and said, hi, I'm Bruce. What's your name? And he's just sitting there fuming,
Yeah. He knew you were going to take her away. Yeah, he tried everything. He walked up to her, started talking to her, offered her some cigarettes, and just kind of smoking and talking to her. But she had zero interest, and she told me, she goes, she had zero interest in him, and it was the funny reason was he was too short, and she's only 5'4".
Taller than me.
Yeah, my wife was taller than I was. So.
Your wife was taller than you. Yeah, she was 5'4", 5'5", maybe 5'5", but she used to say 5'5", but no, she was more like 5'4", 5'5", right around there. But yeah, no, it's fine. Everybody's going to be different, and I like I said, I would love to know what that thing is, because it's like nobody can really answer it. I mean, you couldn't answer it, Deana. You can't answer it. I don't know what it is. It's just like all of a sudden just comes over you. It's weird.
I'm sorry, I'm still stuck on the Bruce is the same height as me. What?
Huh? Well, that feeling that you just that person, you need to be with them for like Bruce said, and like I said, and I'm sure you had that same feeling, but it's just funny that you just can't. You can't really
rewind.
Go ahead.
Rewind.
You never had that.
How tall are you, Bruce? No.
Oh,
rewind.
Bruce.
We haven't met in person. I don't know this. How tall are you, Bruce?
I'm about 5'7", 5'8".
Yeah. You're kidding me. I always pictured you as like 6'2".
He's fucking Bruce Wayne.
No.
I don't know. You live on the other side of the country.
Yeah, stand up, Bruce. Stand up, Bruce.
It won't show on this camera.
Stand up. I don't know how small your feelings are.
Here, I will do you. Yeah, I will do you one better. Here,
I'm a giant.
That help anybody? There you go.
I'm about 5'8".
Yeah,
I'm not tall.
He's not tall.
I'm probably about Mike's height, maybe.
Yeah, you and Mike are about the same height. Yeah,
I'm a little thicker. I'm thicker than Mike is, though. Mike's pretty skinny.
I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, Mike fucking. Yeah,
Mike's a string bean.
Mike's a gym rat. So yeah. He's always working out and stuff.
Me too.
I'm trying to even find a picture of a full body shot of you, Bruce. Oh, here you go. I found one. It's okay. I share it, Bruce.
I don't know. What picture is it?
You're golfing. You're
golfing.
Yeah, you're golfing. It's a golf photo at a tournament. All right, here you go. I got it. I got you. Present. Share screen. Facebook. Share. There's Bruce.
Yeah.
There's Brucey.
That's his first side. That doesn't help.
There. That better?
Yeah.
I guess that helps with the golf cart ish.
Oh, well, I don't know how tall the guy is he's standing next to, but
he's about the same height I am. He's got a hat on.
he got a hat on.
A tattoo and an arm.
Got a hat on, so he's a little taller, huh?
See, never mind.
Yeah, I can't find a full body.
I'm like what I guess you would call athletic build. So
yeah.
I work out.
I work out.
I have a full gym. I have a full gym in the garage. So yeah.
I work out too, to the refrigerator, back, and then back to the refrigerator.
Right? I'm doing lifts right now, bicep curls.
I used to work out every single day, and I used to run 2 miles every day. I used to take care of my body, and then I just said, fuck it.
No, I had a picture on my dating site, which was on Facebook when I was in Mexico, and somebody took the picture when I was sitting on the Chase Lounge by the pool, and had my sunglasses off, shirt off, bathing suit, and it's like I had to take that off the website.
Can I find that one on your page?
I don't know.
I found it. Can I share it, Bruce?
You find it?
Yeah, I found it.
That was fast.
That's a
lot quicker than I am on that crap.
That's the perks of being John's buddy.
There it is. Yeah.
Hey, Bruce in great shape.
Look at that mustache.
He's John Wayne. He's John Wayne. I tell you, when he talks, I think he's John Wayne. Brucey Bruce.
Yeah, I thought I took that down, John. How'd you find that? That's so quick.
It is in your Cabo folder.
Oh, that's it.
It's in the Cabo folder.
I took that off the dating sites.
Yeah, you got to take that off there. They'll never leave your house in the morning if you leave that up. All right, Bruce. Bruce, are you ready? Are you ready for this topic that Deana's bringing? Are you ready for this?
This is about. This is about. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about oral.
Let's talk about sex. You and me.
Very interesting article. I read it. I read it 4 times because I wanted to make sure I did it justice.
Yeah. Smart.
So I will give it credit. It's an old article. It's pre-pandemic 2016, and it is written by a man. So of course there's that. But I will agree with a lot of the things he had to say. There's a lot of, unfortunately, taboo with female genitalia. That seems to be a large portion of this article is girls aren't comfortable with it. Dudes aren't comfortable with it. But, and I meant to put a poll up on this because I really wanted to do my research.
Yeah.
Is there or is there not a larger portion of men who are willing to receive as opposed to giving oral?
Oh, yeah. You hit it right on that. I mean,
absolutely.
All right. Just let no, because it's a generational thing too. Because like old school Italian guys, they will say that's bad. You don't do that because if you would go down on a girl, you would go down on a guy. That used to be like a thing, like that was the macho thing with Italian men. Italian men would tell other Italian men, you don't go down on a girl. If you go down on a girl, you'll go down on a guy. So that was like kind of like.
So if there's no penis there, it's just as much as if there is a penis there.
If
that logic, no sense.
If you, for instance, are a fan of The Sopranos, this conversation comes up on The Sopranos, which was my dad was just fucking laughing his ass off because Tony and his uncle, that was the Don at the time, he was hiding the fact that he was going down on his mistress. And that was like something, he was so scared that the other guys in the mob would find out about it and they would look down on him for doing it. And the reason being was, if you would go down on a girl, you will go down on a guy. So I can see why, and I don't think it's like today's Italian guys look at it that way, but I can understand like my dad's generation maybe understanding that, saying it, that was a thing. You know where I'm going with it?
I understand, I
Yeah.
guess, as a past generation thing.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, wasn't that the whole thing about The Sopranos and the whole mafia thing and having your mistress was you do the things you do with her that you would never do with your wife because you respect her too much. That's the woman that kisses your children goodnight.
Except that. Except that.
Especially that.
Yeah. Well, you would do it. You didn't want it to get out there. They probably all did it. They just didn't want it to get out there. Yeah. They didn't want the other guys in the crew knowing that you would go down on a girl.
That's so ridiculous. Why is it shameful to want your woman to have an orgasm? Why is that a problem? This is a problem that I don't understand.
I don't know. Okay, let me throw this at you. Okay. Because I read this article to myself and I only read it twice. I didn't have to read it 4 times. But
I went through it a few times. I wanted to make sure I hit all the points.
I don't want to gross you out on this, and I'm not going to the extreme with this.
Me out.
I don't want to go to the extreme age, but I think there's a point in time that a man isn't going to do that to another woman at a certain age. Do you feel like that?
I mean, I get if you're at a certain age, if you're nearing golden years retirement, you're probably not going to do that.
You're not going down
there. In your 30s and 40s, especially right now, honey, bust that shit out. Please, for the love of God. Just
Bruce, your thoughts.
Do unto others as you want done unto you.
Exactly. That's how I looked at it. Okay, even before. God, I don't even know how to say this. All right, I mean, I'm not going to pretend like we're teenage boys. Bruce was a teenage boy. My dad wasn't sitting me down and going, "Okay, this is how you lick pussy." You know what I mean? He didn't do that. I don't think
it was trial and error.
It's trial and error, and what you learned on porn sites. Let's be honest, not
or
porn
from your
sites,
buddy
but
who claimed he'd done it before.
Oh yeah, which was always a lie. Which was always
a lie. Yeah,
the clitoris isn't there, you stupid son of a bitch.
The little man in the bow, you can't freaking miss it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Do you think if you? Oh man, I don't even know how to say this. I mean,
this is my favorite.
Do you think?
Because
it's not like it's like something you're either going to. And then Bruce may agree with me on this one, he may not. But it's either something you're really good at, or you're not. And if you're not, you should just stop trying to get good at it. And Bruce,
I swear,
agree or disagree with that one?
Practice makes perfect, right?
I know, but I think you find out early in your life if you're good at it.
Oh yeah.
And, I mean, if she's
just a real good actress.
Yeah. Okay. And let me just say, I've heard guys say this.
So look at her. She knows.
Yeah. If she grabs your hair,
you never pretended, did you, Deana?
Yeah. If she grabs your hair and pulls you up,
I pretended. Don't no.
Yeah.
I pretended.
Yeah. If she grabs your hair and pulls you up, you're not doing
the next page.
He really thinks he was good though.
And then
sure he did.
All right, and then Deana may agree with this, but there's a point in time where enough's enough, buddy. Move up.
Exactly. You go. Oh, I'm done.
I mean, you're not. Yeah, let's be honest. You guys are never going to say I'm done. So that's something a guy's going to have to figure out for his own. That hey, I did a good job down here. It's time to move to step number 2. Because I mean, if you're fucking packing fucking lunch down there and setting up a tent and fucking, and getting a glass of wine, you've been down there too long.
No, that's the perfect amount of time to have been down there. If you have pitched a tent, you were putting in the effort, to circle back to what we talked to earlier. See? Putting in the effort.
I get what you're saying, but there's a point in time where even you guys are like, okay, it's enough. But I feel like,
and that's when we make the fake noise.
Yeah.
but I also feel like I said before, I don't think you guys are letting us know, okay, that's enough.
I'm a rare breed to ask that question, so it's hard. That's what she said. It is hard.
It is hard.
If she's moist, she's having a good time. I know how else to say that one.
Yeah, because I think a lot of guys run into that problem.
She's not moist. She's done.
Yeah. But I think a lot of guys run into that problem where they have been down there too long. It's not working. It's not happening. But then she doesn't know how to say, let's move on without feeling like she's not making him feel like a man.
Oh, honey, that's when you just jump on and switch tails. That's when you go, fine, I'm going to suck your dick because you need lubrication to move on to the next step.
Yeah.
Yep.
I get what you're saying.
Here we go. Step 2.
Step 2.
Yeah.
A little will do.
Can I proceed? Yes, you may, my lord.
Yes, you shall pass.
You shall pass. I like that.
Well, sometimes you have to skip the steps depending on how worked up you got before you started.
It depends on especially if you're in a relationship where you have children, especially if you're in a
speed is the essence.
All right, I'm gonna hit you with the tough question. Because like I said before earlier, we're talking about age. Is there a point in time where you feel like that isn't necessary any longer?
I haven't hit that point yet.
Me neither.
No, I know.
I don't know.
I don't know if it will.
You could go interview the retirement home and see what kind of response.
Oh yeah, no, I don't want to see 80-year-old. No, that's not.
Next week.
Are you trying to give me fucking nightmares, Bruce? Are you trying to give me nightmares, Bruce?
I'm going to do that next week. I'm going to go into the retirement home.
And again,
John's just getting grossed out. John's not having sex anymore. He got grossed out. You remember my grandmother's still doing that.
And I think
I just need love too, man.
Yeah, and maybe you agree with me, Deana, but I think like a lot of guys or Bruce maybe as well, but I think like a lot of guys that started to do that early in their sexual life, and if they felt like they were good at it, they keep pursuing it and keep making it part of their repertoire.
But
they continue making it part of their repertoire, But then there are the guys that like, hey, I know I'm not good at it, and I'm just done with it. You know what I'm saying? Do you feel like there's some guys that are like that are out there? They're just kind of like, hey, you know what? I'm not good at this. I'll give it the old college try, but I know I'm not good at it.
Are you there yet? Are you there yet?
That's my asshole. You're way off. Oh, sorry.
Oops.
Well, that's a thing now too, though, John. So
that is a thing now. Yeah. Are they doing that in the retirement homes? I don't know if they're doing that there.
Now I'm gonna ask you a question.
Ask that question.
Here's a question I don't know if I want the answer to. What is the pube situation in the retirement homes?
Oh shit. I'm going to assume that it's pretty clean down there because those fuckers are always in surgery. So I'm assuming most of the old people are shit.
That's a very fair assessment. I kind of understand that.
I started thinking, as soon as you said that, I started thinking, those fuckers are in the hospital a lot. So they got
a lot. That's a lot of catheters. You want that shit trimmed.
Yeah, I'm sure a few nurses have shaved that bush, that fucking jungle, have shaved that jungle down there a few times. Like this motherfucker just doesn't stop growing.
You gotta get the goggles out and fires up the weed whacker.
Yeah. Oh, I had a question for you, but I completely, totally forgot what it was. I completely forgot what it was.
Oh, Lord.
There's the weed whacker. Yeah.
I need batteries. Not for that.
Good times, good times. How are you, Bruce? How have you been? I missed you.
John run to the bathroom or something or what?
No,
You had to get batteries.
Batteries for my mom.
For the weed whacker?
For the weed whacker, yeah. Come here, boy.
Is that what we're calling it?
Well,
now?
you know, with New California emissions thing, they're not letting the gardeners use any gas powered equipment anymore.
No more gas
powered, yeah. So
yeah, you can't. I can't even order a gas.
Welcome to California. You can't use a gas powered leaf blower, gas lawnmower, gas anything.
Yeah, Amazon won't ship any of that stuff anymore here.
No, and then what was it? Oh, my the pesticide guy. They can't even use the gas compressor on the back of their trucks to roll the hose out. They have to use the electric pump on their back now to apply the pesticides.
Yeah, my batteries aren't working.
Crazy.
We need to move.
Gotta fix the ozone because and the silent generation fucked it all up for us.
They're too worried about words.
Yep. Yeah, they're oblivious to everything else.
I don't know. I had a great question for you. I completely forgot about it, man.
Was it about oral?
Yeah. I mean, God, I know I had a great fucking question. Fucking great. You started talking about about Bush, and I lost focus.
It was a random thought.
Man.
Let me ask this question. This one's for the ladies. What are we doing with that happy ending bit? Because I've heard stories.
Spit or swallow, right?
If you're spitting, where are you putting that? That kind of does it not ruin?
Did you ever watch porn? They show you that.
In porn they put it. It's called a pearl necklace.
The pearl necklace,
or the facial, or whatever they want to call it. Yeah.
Remember, Bruce? It's called the money shot.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Ladies, can I ask you? Is that really better? Is that really better for your eyelids to be stuck together?
I mean, this may upset Bruce, but what do you want her to do with it?
I kind of totally leave that up to her.
No vote in it.
At that point, she's in control, and hopefully, like most guys, they give a warning.
No, if she said whatever you want to do, what would you pick?
Oh, good question.
Oh, I don't know. Depends on the mood.
I think it's not up to us anymore.
No,
I think if you make a suggestion, you're a bad guy.
Yeah, you have to see what she wants to do with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If she says it's up to you, she better effing swallow it.
Bruce is not gonna answer your question.
You just go gulp and get on with your day.
I'm not even gonna answer that question. Just save face. I'm not saying it.
I don't understand that one. I live in a generation where that's
all right, here you go. I remembered my question now, Deana.
You had to look it up.
All right.
Here we go.
Do you feel it needs to be? Oh man, I forgot the word. If she does it, you have to do it. What's that word? I had the word right on.
Reciprocity?
No, do you feel like if you're doing it to him he should do it to you? Or do you feel he's obligated to do it to you?
I don't know that obligation is the word, especially if it's a new relationship and you're just feeling shit out.
Yeah.
I'm not saying.
There you go. Thank you, buddy. That is the word I'm looking for.
That's what I said. Reciprocity. Thank you.
Yeah.
Reciprocate.
Reciprocate it.
Reciprocity. Same damn thing. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, do you feel that isn't it needs to be like because now you're putting the pressure on that individual.
If that person does that for you and that is not your thing to reciprocate, you need to have a freaking conversation real fast.
Yeah. All right. That's what I just wanted to get your opinion on that. Bruce, do you feel the same? Would you feel bad if you did that and she didn't,
reciprocate?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be a little disappointed.
A little.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see where you kind of like, well, I think then go ahead,
at
Deana.
The beginning of a situation, if you're playing things out, you can't get mad about that. Like in the heat of the moment is where it goes. But if you're with someone for a residual,
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Deana. Yeah.
Doing work that you're not doing, you need to have a conversation about why you're not doing that work. That is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, yeah, that first time you're still trying to feel things out. If he's willing to do that to you, but you're not, then he should be okay with it. And then,
again, I mean, if she pulls your head up, then don't go there.
Yeah, if she grabs you by the head of your hair and says,
lifts up, it's like
If she grabs you by the head of the hair and pushes you down farther, don't.
It's a yeah.
And it's a hell yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, there are subtle signs.
You start doing mouth exercises real quick,
Yeah. The head push down and the head pull up.
I do the Susie sells seashells by the seashore. That's how I prepare my lips to go down there. Susie sells seashells by the seashore.
Do you do the tongue aerobics?
Yeah, that's it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because I get exactly what you're saying. Because then later on down there, I guess after a while, if you're still together and that does bother you, then I think that's something. Yeah, you're right. Hey, why won't you do this? It's okay for me to do
it. If it's okay for me to go down on you and you're not okay to go down on me, to me, that's a deal breaker.
Well, part of it is hygiene too, so.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to bring up.
That's a giant part of the article that I pulled up was there's still a lot of taboo and shame that comes along with the female anatomy, unfortunately, because of that lovely time of month that we unfortunately get to experience.
Well, yeah, not even just that. You guys. Oh God, I'm going to get in so much fucking trouble for saying it.
Say it, John. Say it.
Well, I'm glad he's saying it, not me.
I'll say there are some days where I would rather be at the dump. I would rather be at the dump than down there.
Are you fishing, John?
Well, no, that's what it smells. That's what I'm saying. I would rather be at the dump than be down there.
If
she's having a bad week. Yeah. Don't send your hate mail to me. I'm being honest. That's an honest response that most guys will say.
If you're using Summer's Eve, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why won't my mod turn on?
It doesn't.
We have are we done? Do we have some more stuff that we want to talk about? Performance oral sex on your penis. Ask them if they could perform oral sex on their vagina. If it's not comfortable with the possible, all right, that's what we were just talking about. I was just looking at the article. This is kind of what we were talking about.
I read it several times. We recapped it.
Again, I guess like Deana's saying, in the beginning, it's kind of it's spontaneous. If you do, you do. You don't, you don't. But if it's something that,
right,
yeah.
If you're into that, definitely make that clear to your partner at some point in time.
Yeah, and if that's your fucking go-to A+ move, guys, do it. Go get that fucking trophy. Get that star on your refrigerator. Go for it. That's all I'm saying.
Get the star in your refrigerator.
A++ for success. Do it.
I know.
If you know you're going to do a good job, you're not going to be. She's not going to be upset for.
No, she's not going to be upset.
Effort at the very, very least.
Yeah. And Bruce is right. You will get the hell no. If she doesn't want you down there, and that's your go-to move to start, and she's going to let you know. There's no woman that's just going to say, "Yeah, go ahead."
I need to do a follow-up article because I need to figure out what.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want a guy down there, you're not going to let
Friday Night BS show.
Yeah, am I right though, Deana? If you don't want a guy down there, you're not going to let him. Yeah, you're gonna
absolutely.
You're gonna grab his hair. You're gonna grab his fucking
down there. Absolutely.
Grab his ears like a fucking Catholic school. Or, you grab your ears like a Catholic nun.
Clear, more subtle.
Oh. We've got about 10 minutes, so we'll jump into this last one real quick and kind of. And let's see here. Where is that last one? Which generation has it harder? This is kind of interesting because I think it's a little different for both genders, but I guess both of genders, both females and males, seem to be doing the same thing. Older women are dating younger men. Older men are dating younger women. Am I right? It seems like that's the fucking norm right now. I mean, honestly, the other day, just for shits and giggles, I just kind of walked around the supermarket and looked at couples. Yeah, I kind of walked around, and you guys do this, and then let me know next week. But like next time you go shopping, just kind of look around at the couples that are at the supermarket, and you can see like the difference in age gaps that are in some of these relationships. And I was just like, how do you date? Like, how does a 50 or 60-year-old, 50-year-old, I won't go down to Bruce, but even Bruce, I mean, do you not feel like it's a huge difference dating someone that's in their 40s? Like trying to keep them happy and, laughing.
Depends on how active you are. But
yeah, no. You take the active part out. Everybody's a little bit active, but you still have to have a conversation with this person.
Well, I mean, hopefully you find an intelligent person that actually can have a conversation. And if you're going to date an 18-year-old and you're in your 60s, you're not going to have much to talk about. God, I don't think they've ever seen a newspaper in their life or watched the news outside of TikTok and whatever they're on. So, yeah.
How was school today?
Oh, Lord. Why are you trying to date your kid? Why are you trying to date your kid?
So it's you got to, there's some stuff you got to take into consideration to, how far low are you going to go to have a relationship, or if it's just a lust thing,
Who were we, Bruce? Who were we talking about the other day? About hold on, my mic. There we go. Who were we talking to? I don't say his name, but I remember we had a conversation a couple weeks ago where we were trying to explain to this person the age calculator for dating. Were you there that night?
Yeah.
Don't say his name because I know sometimes he watched. But we were trying to explain to him that it's half your age plus 7.
Correct.
Yeah, and I'm 54. I'm 55. Whoa, John, slap yourself. I'm 55. So that's what is that? 27, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 27. Then add what to it? 7
plus 7
plus 7. That's 14. 43. 44. I could not.
34.
Oh, I couldn't do it. I just couldn't.
Half your age, John. You're what? 55.
I'm already 2 bottles of wine in, but yeah.
55.
There's
Right?
yeah.
55
I'm 55.
divided by
So
2 is 27.5 plus
right
7
is
equals
Divided by
34 and a
2
half. So you
I
got to
couldn't
make
do
plus 7.
sure if she can't be 34, she's got to be 34 and a half. So you got to
yeah,
have to
I
check
couldn't do
birth
that.
date.
I couldn't sit. I would not have the patience to have a date with a 35-year-old woman.
So I mean, mine works out to a 39-year-old.
Yeah, yours is 39. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I mean, even I mean 40s. I'm 40s would be my comfort zone because I
Yeah,
feel like
see,
I can have.
I don't have my age on the dating sites down to that minimum, but because I set it off at like at 43 or 44 or 45, if if the dating pool is low, then the dating sites will start lowering the age down, even though it's not in your thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I my 40's pushing it because I feel like even 40, I'm kind of at the cuff. I think we still have some music in common. We still have some social things in common. I think we still have some a good portion of things still kind of in common. But even at 40, you think about that, that's 14 years.
well, my
So
problem with the 40s
15
is they
years.
still have teenagers at home.
They still have kids. Yeah, they still
Yeah.
have kids.
So that's where I run into that issue. It's like, you got to get into your 50s, and even some of them still have older teens, depending on when they started their family or if they got married again and had another kid. You know,
Yeah. See, I think this group, the boomers, the Gen X, the millennials, and the Gen Zs, I
numbers
think
have it tough.
the boomers have it the easiest. Because
Easiest.
yes, because I think you boomers can date anyone in that category and be happy. And I think a lot of millennials would date a boomer. And I think a lot of Gen X would date a boomer. Now,
There's a
Gen
lot of
Z,
there's a lot of younger
Gen,
women that like to date the older men because theoretically
exactly. So I'm putting
we
you
have our
guys
shit
off the
together.
list. I'm
Yeah.
putting you off the list because I think in the dating world, technically, yes, you have your shit together. Why not? Why wouldn't a Gen Z, a Gen X, or a millennial want to date a boomer? The boomer's done working, he's traveling, he's having a good time, he has money,
Been there, done that.
has a house. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm taking you right off the fucking list. You go away. You don't belong on this list. You're the easiest on this list. Because Gen X is still technically working. He hasn't retired yet. He's still a good 10 years away from retiring. He's probably more than likely got
Gen
a
X
couple
is still in
kids.
the working force. The back end.
I mean, who do you think has it the hardest in that list? Boomers are out. We took the boomers out. Gen X, millennials, or Gen Z?
I feel like it's going to be hard for Gen Z.
Yep.
It's going to be real hard for Gen Z because of all this stupid technology and all the shut-in syndrome it's become. Like, you can shop for anything online. You can shop for a girlfriend online.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's right, but you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that generation is also a generation that I think not all of them are all about the woke generation. So I think that comes into play when dating. Like, it seems like that generation, all it takes is to say one thing wrong and you're canceled. And I
Well,
think
now
that
you're talking
applies.
about intergenerational dating, and yeah, absolutely. If you're talking about a Gen Z dating a Gen X, forget it. That's a very large age gap. Or even a Gen X dating a millennial. Oof,
yeah.
that's
No, I mean within
Mm.
themselves, Gen Z dating Gen Z. I think not all of them apply to that woke technology or that woke Islam, whatever that word is.
A single Gen X that's like, you can't be woke in front of me. Like, I don't know a single Gen Xer that thinks that you have to be this very specific PC way. No way, absolutely not. I refer to Dennis Leary. I'm an asshole.
Yeah. Of the toughness in this group, I'm not even gonna say boomers. I'm gonna say Gen X is the tougher generation out of all these because I think they've had to endure a lot more than the boomer. Because I think
we didn't have all the fun toys to play with in our
no,
life.
you didn't, but I think you had more likelihood of less responsibility. I don't think you guys were left alone as much.
Oh,
I
are you
think you
kidding?
guys
You're left alone all the time, man. We didn't answer. We had freedom. We walked out the door. The doors weren't locked. You went out and played in the field and
I
disappeared until
guess.
street lights came
The
on.
doors were locked, so
Yeah.
you couldn't get back in because your
Well,
parents
yeah, they did
didn't.
lock you out, and that's when mom and dad were busy because you were
Back when
supposed to be
the lights
locked
come
out.
on the street. Yep. As soon as the
Yeah, I
street
mean,
lights come on, I will unlock the door.
we played in the sprinklers. We played in the pools. We drank from garden hoses. We
well,
did.
Yes.
Gen X did that too. Gen X did all that stuff too, I think.
No, they were starting to get more rules than those boomer kids had.
Well, Gen X is the
No.
latchkey kid. We're known as the latchkey kids. We didn't
Yeah.
have parents when we got home. We made our own fucking dinner. We made our own dinner. We made our own food. We made our own lunch.
My
In the
my
back of the garage.
my
You
kids
made
were
yourself
never latchkey.
the hell up.
Well, I wasn't because my mom didn't work, but my
Yeah.
dad did. So I don't know.
Oh no,
God
I
forbid.
was
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
My daughter's kids are so busy now. I mean they're involved in
yeah, this
soccer,
new generation is
baseball,
fucking
dance,
yeah, it's
swim
nonstop.
lessons. I mean, the kids have got like a full calendar of activities that they're involved in and doing. You know.
That was not
No,
a
they
thing for
are. Yeah, they're
my brother
nonstop.
was in Boy Scouts. When he was bored of Boy Scouts, that's when I got to do gymnastics. When I outgrew gymnastics, my brother was in soccer. And I did the latchkey kid thing, and I'm still technically considered a millennial because I was born in 81. But
Right.
no, I know how to read cursive.
You're the same age as my daughter, Jen.
Yeah, you're the same. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, she's the same age as your daughter, huh?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
way.
No.
My daughter was
I mean,
born in 81.
like for me, I got to come
You'd
home.
be my
Mom,
kid, Jen.
yeah, you could be Bruce's second daughter, the twin daughter. You know, I got to come home, and yes, my mom had food ready for us when we got home from school and all that other stuff. But like my next door neighbor, you know, his mom worked, his dad worked, and you know, he was eating tortillas hot off the oven, you know, or off the stovetop. He would heat the tortillas on the stovetop and put butter on them. I'm like, dude, come over to the house. You can have a bowl of pasta. You know, he had his own. You know, he had his own key. You know, he would get
on the pizza rolls. Oh wait. When I was growing up, we didn't have microwaves.
No, he did, dude. Everything was microwave. You open the refrigerator, all the food was microwave. Tony's pizza rolls. You know,
that was a popular thing back then.
Yeah,
I didn't start until I was an adult, but that was a thing that was around when I was a kid, and my parents didn't buy it.
Yeah, he always had a unlimited supply of Pop-Tarts, fucking those Tony little Hot Pockets.
So we grew up on toasted peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Yeah.
That was we were at my buddy's house after school, and we just wear the toaster out and a loaf of bread.
Yeah. I used to drink hot dog water. No, I'm kidding.
No, what's wrong with you?
I'm just kidding.
We're out of time, my friends.
All right. Well, we are done. We are at the 2-hour mark, guys. Thank you, Bruce, for jumping in tonight, and Deana. Always fun. We will see everybody next Friday. Thank you, Fino, for being out there. I didn't even, dude. I don't know. I shouldn't have drank the second bottle of wine.
Oh, that was the hot dog water. You sure it wasn't hot dog water, John?
I forgot to check to see if the chat obviously the chat is working because Fino's been able to comment.
Well,
so
Fino is the only one that's listening to us tonight, apparently.
Yeah, there's I don't know. I just another person that's being secretive. So yeah, but that's not what the show's about. It's about listening to it after on Spotify. So we do appreciate having the live viewers, but we are going to continue the show whether we have one person or 1,000 people doing the show. So it's
How many
about
people do we have watching all the other shows?
It's a good number on the other one. I don't want to share that live, but
Oh, okay. I was just curious because it's like when I go to Spotify or YouTube, it doesn't really say how many people are really watching.
It's not
just
going to
my
show you.
end.
Yeah. All right, guys. Again, everybody have a great rest of your weekend. There's no holiday this weekend, right? Nobody's celebrating
No,
anything.
that was last weekend.
That was last weekend. Yeah. All right, guys. Oh, wait. Let me make sure I push the right button. I got a button. All right, I'm ready. All right, guys. Peace out. Thank you for joining us. We'll see everybody next Friday. Out.
Nah,